and welcome to episode 95 of
The Eldritch Podblast.
I am...
What happened? And I am Jack.
And welcome.
What happened?
I don't know. It just got stuck in my throat. It just got stuck in my throat. Have I left that in? Who knows?
Yeah, definitely. You gotta have.
That's going to be the most jarring opening to the podcast
legit.
ever.
That was, I would say, top 3 best intros. Give me the numbers of your favorite 3 intros. One's got to be the apology.
Yeah, definitely.
And second's got to be that.
Definitely.
And then I'll leave the third up to you.
Yeah. Oh my god. I didn't start the timer.
That's okay.
Timer started. We're like, what, a minute
Man,
in?
this is professional.
Yeah.
This is the good stuff.
This is the 4th one we've filmed in the space of 48 hours.
Oh, baby.
So it's all kind of melding into one.
The mania is setting in.
Can you see all the stuff that's on my hoodie?
Don't bring light to it.
I think it's chocolate.
Just don't show people and they'll never know.
I'm pretty sure
They're
it's
too
chocolate.
far away to know,
Yeah,
you see.
you might not even be able to see it from here. I don't know. It's chocolate now.
I put a fresh t-shirt on this morning.
Yeah.
So I'm not a scumbag.
Yeah, well, I can't speak for all of us. You don't speak for all of us?
I speak to every single one of you. Me and the entity speak for all of you.
No, understood.
I'm making your lips move right now.
Oh, that I can feel it. I can feel the tug of the entity on my life source. Yes, indeed.
That was me making you talk.
Thank you. How about you? How about them?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're way easy to control.
Oh, understood. No,
because I
understood.
have all of their blood.
Totally. Yeah, totally. Hello. How are you doing?
That was too hot.
Too hot? Did you put any
hot.
cold water in it?
Yeah.
Oh.
I've slightly singed my tongue.
Oh no. Yeah, I did that with my pizza the other day.
Krusty pizza.
No.
It's a pizza for you and me.
We had pizzas the other day, and you know when like a big piece of like cheese comes off in a chunk, it came off and it got stuck to my tongue and it burned, and the underside of it as well. So that was
so the bit that was touching the sauce, it's under the sauce.
Oh my god, it's
under the sauce.
It's under the sauce.
Margaret was because we're getting the takeaway tonight. Margaret was talking about a takeaway that she likes, and there's a place that I really love that she doesn't like that much. No. She fancies it now and then. Yeah, and it's called K-Town Chicken.
It's called it's a ghost kitchen. By
it's
the
a
way.
Ghost kitchen.
Yeah.
It's a like Korean fried chicken place.
Did you watch Eddie Burbach's video about ghost kitchens? Because it's definitely a ghost.
Look,
kitchen.
Eddie, you make some great videos, but this is about me.
Listen, back
Eddie
off.
Burbach makes unreal videos.
Yeah.
Go and watch them. But like, anytime I really want something. And I'm like trying to convince Margaret that's the song I use. Yeah. So it was K-Town Chicken is the chicken for you and me. And I've been just singing that. So as soon as you said pizza, I had to hit him with a Krusty Krab pizza.
See, it's one of those things where like I don't like any of the mains. And don't get me wrong.
She likes the sides.
I prefer having a mix of small things.
Yeah,
being
you
able
like.
To pick from loads
you're
of different
a picker.
Things. I am a picker.
You're a picker.
I am. I like. So I normally get like coleslaw and some wings.
And their
some
coleslaw goes
fries.
so hard.
The coleslaw does go really hard.
Real hard. And they do an unreal fried chicken burger.
They do.
I'm gonna get that.
I don't like that.
Yeah, you don't like the seasoning on the fried chicken.
No, I really don't.
So you like the crispy chicken wings that aren't
fried.
Breaded.
Yeah. So, do you see the speed at which Jack turns to look at this dog?
Yeah, because I got to make sure he's okay.
He's fine.
Yeah, I know he's okay. He's just had a big snuff of that with carrots in.
We
and
put some carrots.
Yeah, I'm just trying to stimulate his brain in between podcasts so he like stays tight for the whole time because it's a long time for him to sit down.
It is a long time for him to sit
down. And I
down.
understand that, and I feel sorry for him. So I want to. So in between, I'm like trying to like hype him up.
Anything.
Do anything to stimulate him.
Keep him all jaunty.
But yeah, so K-Town Chicken
is
the chicken
we'll see.
for you and me.
We'll see.
Everybody sing it in the comments. K-Town Chicken is the chicken for Margaret and me.
Yeah, I don't know. It's really hit or miss for me. Like, it's great for you because you like the main. I feel like my things change all the time, though.
You don't have it if you don't want it.
Yeah, I'll think about it. I'm a bit hungry, though. So I need to know what you're eating right now.
Yeah, let me know what you're eating.
I need to know what you're eating right now, and I need you to siphon some of that to me right now.
Is it K-Town?
Is this going to be the whole episode? Nice. What else? There was something. I was like, we should talk about this, but I can't.
It was the
what.
1 million likes on.
Oh, it was a 1 million
because
likes on TikTok.
We said it just in a random place last episode. So Margaret was like, let's bring it up at the beginning of the next episode.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you to every person who's ever liked a video on our TikTok.
Oh my god!
Because to hit like I said before, to hit 1 million of anything
is really really insane.
Just those numbers are just never anything you ever think you're going to achieve.
No, unfathomable numbers. Like
I can't think of what 1 million people looks like.
Me neither. No, me neither. I can't even think of what like 10,000 people look like. I mean, we've had this conversation before. I'm not good with guesstimating things.
No, you aren't the best.
Yeah.
We should bring that back.
We should bring that back.
We should do Christmas cookies in the jar.
Should we do Christmas cookies in the jar? Yeah. All right. Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, like 1.1 million people have double tapped the screen or clicked the heart button.
Wild.
On TikTok
completely
to our
wild.
videos.
Absolutely, completely unfathomable to me.
That just blows my brain.
Same, it does.
Whoa!
No!
I did it last episode as well.
You know how last episode I'm really good at catching myself when I'm about to say something wrong.
Yeah, you said something wrong, but that wasn't. I was totally committed to that.
Oh yeah,
I just didn't realize.
Yeah. Understood.
K-Town.
No.
So yeah, just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Never would I have ever have thought that over 1 million people would have liked anything that we said.
I know. So thank you. Like truly, really, genuinely,
just
thank you.
Not even into the podcast either. So just
absolutely.
We're just here having a bit of crack, talking about some D&D, and it's nice that you all like it. So.
Yeah, thank you. We wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for you. Honestly, thank you. Oh,
cheese, mate.
Yeah. Cheers! I'm just a little lad saying thank you for me TikTok likes.
I'm just a little lad who's got 1.1 million likes on my TikTok.
I'm just a grateful little lad.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Oh god, my throat, man, my voice is absolutely wrecked.
Hit him with the. Hello.
What do you think? Did you even hear that?
Yeah, definitely.
I don't want to think about what I look like doing that. I have important news.
Interesting.
It's not that important. It's Neopets.
That sounds pretty interesting.
It's about Neopets. Shout out to the one person when I mentioned Neopets, one episode a few ago, who were like, I love Neopets. I love you. I love Neopets. I still play Neopets. I don't actually play
Neopets,
retail Neopets.
Retail.
I play like a classic
She's
version
a purist.
of it. I am a bit. And you know what?
And she hates anyone who plays retail.
Yeah, that's it. It makes me realize how little I actually did on the game as a child. I literally did the free dailies and I surfed the pound all day. That's all I did.
But the thing is, that's like me on WoW when I was a kid. On World of Warcraft, like, I never got a character to 60. Yeah. I constantly just started new characters.
Yeah,
I didn't know what talents to play.
No.
I didn't know what like rested experience was. Experience?
I feel like that's the kid experience, though, right?
Like going into a game like World of Warcraft when you are a child is just wild.
Like too much. How did I like? I know children are more versed.
I can tell you it didn't go very well.
No, I know children now are more versed in things like that, but back in 2004,
when the game came out,
yeah, no idea. And same for me with Neopets, honestly. And the same with me with Neopets. I don't know what I was last saying. We had to clap out.
We had to clap out for that. But I like how you really committed to it, though. But yeah, like 2004, me playing WoW.
Yeah.
Like,
no
lost.
idea.
Like,
oh, God.
I'm just a lost little lad. I'm just a lost little lad. I'm just playing World of Warcraft and I want to have a good time, but I'm lost.
So anyway, my important
news.
Neopets news.
Yes.
I forgot what I was saying. I was going to say
big news today.
So the advent calendar's up. Woo! I love the Neopet advent calendar. It's just a bit of fun. You get to, especially on Classic, you get to watch like a stupid little animation.
And retail
it's
stuff.
Good fun. Yeah. Patooey. I spit on you.
Spit upon you, retail Neopets.
And today I went to the calendar and I got a reward, which is, I don't know if anyone gives a man. I don't know if anyone gives a frick. I got a white owner, which is a pet, which is a pet that you give to your Neopets. Not to be confused with a pet, which is a pet that you give to your pet of your pet. Anyway, I'm
following.
Take a shot every time I say pet. So I got that, and it was the very first advent calendar reward I ever got. The first time I ever opened the advent calendar when I played.
How do you know?
Is
that just 8. Memory?
It's memory because I have
memory.
All alone in the moonlight.
Perfection.
It's a core memory actually, and it's of the first time I ever got scammed online.
Let's go.
So let me tell you about my story about how I got scammed online.
I'm prepared to hear this.
Picture this: you're me. You are 8 years old.
Nice.
You have just gone through immeasurable trauma, and you turn to the internet. Okay.
Yeah, of course. That's where you go. That's where you go.
Absolutely unmonitored access to the internet. 100%. May I add?
Yeah. The good stuff. The good stuff. The real deep dark web stuff.
You log into Neopets and you go to the advent calendar and you get a white owner, and it is exclusive to the advent calendar. It's the first time you've ever seen it. You feel alive.
I'm living.
Yeah, I'm sliving,
thriving.
And you log
you
log into MSN Messenger. Okay, you've just gotten this. You have no idea
Margaret,
how this
that?
works. Oh God, literally.
We don't need to go there.
You listen. I know the demographic of people who watch us. I know you know what MSN Messenger is. Okay, and I log in.
Y'all old as fuck.
Yeah, you're all ancient. 8-year-old unsupervised me goes onto the Neo boards.
Let's go.
It's the built-in forum, and you see someone saying, "I can duplicate your white owners."
They can. Yeah, they can. 100%.
You go, "That's great. I have 4 pets. I would love a white owner for all of my pets." Like, honestly, looking at this image, his like
that's because the white owner is a pet for a pet.
Yes, exactly.
Pet. It's a pet pet, right?
It's a pet pet.
It's not a pet.
No, it's a pet.
Pet pet.
It's a pet pet.
Of course.
Yeah.
I'm there.
You go on and they go, "Add me on MSN," and obviously, like, you'll know how forums work. You can't like give outside information, so they typed it in this really whack way. Okay, I added them. They were the first. I think I downloaded MSN Messenger just to message them. Okay, I think I downloaded MSN Messenger just to talk to this person.
Okay, so you probably were.
Yeah, like I didn't.
That was like almost, I think, when MSN came out.
Yeah, I didn't have any friends, so like I was adding strangers on the internet. And
memory.
In the first thing you got when you added someone for the first time, you used it, when you added someone, you opened up the chat box, an automatic message would be at the top of the messenger, and it would be like, "Never give your password out to a stranger. MSN employees will never ask for your password." I thought they sent me that message, so I replied going, "Okay, sure," and they were like, "Okay, hello," and then they were like, "You want me to double them?" And I was like, "Yeah," and they were like, "Give me your password," and I was like, "Okay." Here you go. Here's the password to my account. So I give them my username and password. Lose my first ever Neopets account. They stole my whole account with my white owner, and I couldn't get another one.
Did you cry?
Of course I cried. Oh my God, Jack, you have no idea how many tears I cried over that white owner.
No.
Seeing that on that screen
Little
just then,
Margaret crying.
when we took a break, that evoked so many emotions on me. It's on my screen right now. I could cry right now.
No.
So yeah, that was the first time that I ever got my account. I ever got scammed online.
So
it was the first instance.
Is this the first one you've gotten since then?
Yes.
Oh wow, that's a pretty big deal.
And in the advent calendar, in the same way, which is wild.
On
now,
the first day,
one of you hit me up on MSN Messenger.
First day of Christmas.
So yeah, I just thought I'd tell you that story.
What's it called?
A white owner.
A white owner.
I'll put a picture up. Go on.
The first day
There's Jack, you want us to get copyright struck?
A white owner.
Yeah, that's a white owner. That's what a white owner looks like.
You want me to put the?
Yeah, it's really, really cute.
You're cute.
Thank you. You're cute. Yeah, how about that?
White owner.
And it evokes so many feelings in me, and that's the first time I got scammed. Little do they know, I then went on. I still remember the name of the account that got lost as well. It was Pulse Freak with 2 Fs. Pulse FF Freak.
Pulse Freak.
And you know why it was called Pulse? Because the Pokemon Plusle I thought was called Pulse. Yep. That's right. There you go. That's some Margaret Law.
There you
How's
go.
that?
Some deep, rich Margaret Law.
How's that?
That was pretty good.
Thank you. Yeah.
I feel better having known that story.
Well, and then after that, I was on a path of vengeance, and I went on to be a really big scammer myself. So
interesting.
You live long enough to see yourself become the villain, you know.
Yeah.
It was Habbo Hotel.
It's a true villain arc.
Habbo Hotel.
It's a true villain story.
Where I let my scamming wings go. But that's a story for another
Margaret
time.
And the story of the white owner. That's what Marvel would call it.
So that's it.
Very good.
That's it. Anything? Any childhood stories you'd like to divulge?
Many, but now is not the time.
What?
No, now is not the time.
I thought now was sharing time.
It was sharing time for you, and I feel
Oh.
like you feel better because
I
you
do
got that
feel
off your
better.
chest.
I feel
Good.
better
I'm glad.
about that. Yeah, that is a core memory that will always stick with me till
Good.
the day I die.
That's not good. But, the fact that you've got a new one is good.
Yeah, it is. It is. And
That's
now
really cool.
it's gonna rot because I'm not gonna do it.
Did you know that I could double your weight on it?
Oh, no, really? Oh my god! What? Oh my god! What a quinky dink!
Shut up.
All right, I guess that's it. Anything else?
No,
Okay. Well,
that's about it. Well, we only recorded the other episode 10 minutes ago.
Well, that was a 22-year-old story for you there.
There you go.
Ew, God, that's
22. Yeah. 'cause
Jesus
you are
Christ.
30.
I'm 30. Ooh, that's a really long fucking time ago for that to have happened, and me to recall that with such so clearly.
So vividly.
Wow. Anyway, we're doing horror and wholesome D&D stories.
Yeah, let's get it, baby.
We're a Neopets podcast now.
Yeah, we are a Neopet.
That was my Neopet horror story.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
And if you would like to share your Neopet horror story,
hit me up.
hit us up.
I'd like to know. So these are all. No, they're not. They're not all
everything
submissions.
but like the last one, I think, is the submission.
Yeah, I think so.
If you want to submit a horror or a wholesome story, please, down below. You may think that we don't want to hear it, but we do.
I
do.
die desperately.
We need to hear it so you can get some catharsis
Yeah.
and hear us read it out on the podcast.
Yeah. Genuinely though, we are running dry on the horror
On
and
the
wholesome
horror.
stories, to be honest.
I think that's probably because of the small mix-up with the sheets.
With the form,
So if you've sent one and we haven't read it out, please send it again.
Yeah. Of course, there's reasons we can't read certain stories.
Yes.
Multiple reasons why we can't. But please,
There do be an algorithm.
yeah, send in your stories. That'd be much appreciated.
Thank you.
We're going to do this as we normally do. We're going to do a horror story, a wholesome story, etc., alternating. However, I have added an extra story at the end because I had to go to Reddit to find some stories, and I found this one, and it was too good not to put in.
Okay.
I had to put it in.
Okay.
So you get an extra story.
You get an extra story.
Yeah, an extra story. So, starting off with a horror.
Boo.
This has been sent in by Anonymous, and they go by he, they.
Thank you very much, Anonymous.
Thank you, Anonymous.
Boo.
The title is DM targets the new D&D player exclusively in combat.
Interesting.
Last year, a longtime friend of our entire group asked to join our homebrew D&D campaign. Our friend was very upfront that they had never played before, but the DM made the game seem far less daunting and wanted to give it a try. The DM was elated and swiftly got to work with them, integrating them into the world and catching them up on information about places the party had already been. Everything was going swimmingly until about a few months in. The friend who chose to play a life cleric / battle master fighter is really into turn-based strategy games.
Nice.
And it became very apparent in the difference on how they handled themselves in combat versus the rest of us. I will say that they never tried to tell anyone else what to do. It was just like watching a seasoned chess player seeing the wheels turn in their head 100 times faster than the rest of us.
Mm-hmm.
But it really seemed to bother our DM that suddenly no one is going down anymore after the addition of our friend.
Especially if they're playing a life
cleric as well.
With action surge.
Especially.
And all the maneuvers.
Yeah. And you know what? I never thought of it. And for some reason, in terms of like a turn-based strategy game, like if that's the type of games you like, you're probably going to slap in D&D,
100%,
right?
Yeah.
Cut to our last session, and there was a big fight with 40 plus enemies.
What?
Our group of 4 was clearly outmatched, and no one disagreed that we needed to flee. That was when the DM stated, "The archers start shooting at you all in the woods." We braced for the damage, and then we were told all 15 or so arrows only hit the cleric / fighter, knocking them to 0 HP instantly. They take their entire turn to heal themselves back up. Nearly knocking them to 0 HP. They take their entire turn to heal themselves up before we begin the chase sequence. But with each round, even with the cleric leading the pack, the enemy arrows only hit them.
Interesting.
Eventually, they run out of spells and they succumb to their wounds and they lose their character for good. Our friend was clearly upset about the whole ordeal and quickly left the session. We tried to talk to the DM while the chase was going on to try to have him attack us too, but he just wouldn't have it. He just kept saying over and over that the enemies were fixated on the cleric, even though in the story, the cleric was the only one who didn't have a reason to be hunted by those enemies in particular. It was blatant targeting, but he won't back down from his stance. The DM also said that he will not allow clerics in the group because
interesting.
It takes the fun out of his combat. But I think he's just a jerk who didn't want the challenge of a good tactical support player. Man,
100%.
that stinks.
And like, look, there is a tactic. If the enemies are smart and they see you healing,
yeah, of course,
like
of course,
to turn around and focus the healer.
Yeah,
like that is when you've got smart enemies. Like that is something that you can do. But when the cleric has done nothing in the fight,
I know,
and you just shoot them over and over again, and then after you say no more clerics,
I know,
it's like just like you aren't fooling anyone.
Like, come on.
You aren't fooling anyone.
How bad must have that felt? Like, as the cleric, by the way. And the fact that, you know, OP says, like, they were clearly upset and they left very quickly.
Yeah.
Like, that is so unfair.
Like, and this is it. It's, I don't know if I'm maybe talking, like, it's a skill issue.
No, it
is
genuinely.
Like,
yeah.
You need to either communicate with the cleric and be like, I can't really make a fight particularly hard with you here.
Because you trivialize it.
And I'm struggling.
Yeah.
Is there any way that we can work together to, like, make it a little bit easier?
Can we meet in the middle ground so we're both happy?
Like, you can't just do this. Like,
This is
wrong.
This is
wrong.
In my opinion, and this might be a bit too harsh, to me, this is a really spineless way of
100%.
Going about it.
That's sugarcoating it.
Like, this is like a spineless, cruel, like intentionally bad way of going about it. Like, and for what? Do you know what I mean? For what? Because nothing was veiled here. OP says what didn't happen to OP, but OP's like, the DM's just a jerk who didn't want to deal with the challenge. Your intentions were so clear. And I think this is it, right? When you do something that's like, so, what's the word for it? Not spineless. Oh yes, spineless, but so non-confrontational. Something so indirect.
Yeah.
What's the word I'm looking for? Like, not aggressive. Passive-aggressive. You do something as passive-aggressive as this, right? Because you want to put off maybe the uncomfortability of having a conversation.
Or admitting
that there's an issue.
No, admitting that you have been almost bested.
Yeah, well, yeah, admitting that there's an issue. Admitting that there's a skill issue.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It's like the combats were fine before, and then this player's come in and almost shown you up.
Totally.
And instead of...
it sounds unintentionally, by the way.
Yeah, they just came in and played the game how they want to play it.
And it's because they are good at these types of games.
And this is the thing, like, you saw Josh when he first played.
Yes, 100%.
Like, he's got a brain for the game.
Absolutely.
And he came in and was almost immediately as good or better than both of you at the combat.
He was better than both of us at combat.
That was just, like, that's just the way his brain works.
Totally.
And you can still see it to this day.
Yeah, he's the best player in combat.
He's the best combat player, yeah.
Out by far.
And, like, there's two things that you can do as a dungeon master. You can learn from it and be like, okay, he keeps doing this and I'm struggling to balance that. I'll go to the internet, I'll go to YouTube, I'll try to think of ways around how to, like, not trivialize his gameplay, but counter him back now.
Be able to deal with it a little bit better.
Be able to deal with it without just going, you're dead.
Yeah. That's it. Like, I just feel like you try to do something this passive aggressive, it makes you look worse.
Makes you look like such an asshole.
It really does make you look like such a prick. Like,
it does.
Everyone at that table.
So stupid.
And I feel so terrible for the person who played the cleric, who was upset and just left.
And then to ban clerics.
To be like, yeah, I banned it. What did they say? It takes the fun out of his combat.
And
like, there is so many ways you could have
dealt
with this.
Do you mean healers?
Yeah, I know. Like, do you mean healers? Do you mean life clerics?
Do you mean life cleric? Because I understand the life cleric does pump out a bit of healing.
And I understand a life cleric multi-class with a battle master fighter. Like, I get it.
Imagine if somebody came to this person's table and played the Twilight cleric.
Yeah, no, well, exactly.
Or the peace cleric.
Yeah, no, I know, exactly. Like, I don't know. I just think people will do anything to not have an honest, upfront conversation.
Yeah, or
and
try.
They'll resort to these things. This makes it so much worse. I know having a conversation's hard. Having a conversation sucks. It sucks. But at least you know for a fact everyone is on the same page.
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, you come out of a horrible conversation feeling better, both of you.
And the thing is, it doesn't even need to be horrible. It just needs to be honest.
Yeah, just
like,
honest.
You seem to be really great at this game, and you've picked a really like potent like multi-class, and I'm struggling to like combat that.
Totally.
Do you have any suggestions?
Yeah.
They might even know. Like, have you ever heard of Counterspell? It's in the game. Like, you can, I know that people don't like it, but you can counterspell healing.
Yeah, you can.
If you desperately need to as a dungeon master.
Yeah. I just think there's so many other ways to do this.
There's a million.
You
could have something, you could have a creature that deals necrotic damage and you are unable to get healed for a certain amount of time or something like that. Or when you get healed, you actually take damage.
Mm-hmm. I feel like this is the bottom. This is the bottom of the list.
This is the last thing you do.
This is
the last.
And,
you don't even do it. You just don't.
Anyone listening, and the thing is, I am sure this DM felt justified in what they were doing, purely by the fact of what they said at the end, saying, I'm banning them because it takes the fun out of my combat. Like, anyone listening to this who is struggling with a player who is you perceive to be overpowered, nothing wrong with just having a conversation with them. Seriously.
There is a Discord full of dungeon masters.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in there. Mm-hmm. There are seasoned dungeon masters who've had every problem thrown at them by every amount of player. Go there in the DM advice, seeking advice, and just ask. Like, never do something. I know that nobody that watches this channel would probably ever do this.
Yeah, I know, unless you were really backed into a corner and felt like you had no options.
So just like, there's so many places to seek advice.
There truly is.
To overcome a problem that isn't killing the cleric.
Yeah.
And then banning
so
them.
Clearly, very obviously targeting them. Like, to the point where someone else writes in being like, man, this was fucked up.
Thank you for the story.
Yeah, no, thank you for the story.
That's a real stinker.
Yeah, that sucks. That sucks. I'm so sorry to your cleric. Did you hear that? Oh, no.
It's alright. It's okay.
So,
I bump the mic all the time.
Let's cleanse it. Let's cleanse it with a wholesome. Huh? How does that feel?
A little bit of sorbet.
Yeah. Yeah, let's cleanse it. So, this has been sent in by Goose, and he goes by he, they.
Silly Goose.
Thank you, Goose.
Thank you, Goose, for your submission to the podcast.
They have said here, please note there is a slight trigger warning for self-immolation of a character. I was going to say you can skip to the next timestamp. There's probably not timestamps below.
Just skip a bit.
Just skip a couple of minutes. Yep. Hello, Podlarks. Your favorite Goose here with a small story and some advice for newer DMs from the very recent end of my first campaign as a DM.
Holler down in the comments if you're a Podlock, a warlock from the Podblast.
And yes, I think you are my favorite Goose.
You are definitely my favorite Goose.
Yeah, I think so.
100%.
After some really awesome campaigns in my group, I decided I really wanted to give DMing a shot, and I chose Curse of Strahd. Now we are a very heavy roleplay group, so throughout the campaign, I agonized over creating interesting scenarios that would push the horror, heartbreak, and ultimate triumph. I agonized at particular length over how to end the campaign, how to make the final confrontation with Strahd feel grand and satisfying, how to do justice to our 2 years spent rolling dice and telling stories together. Here's where the advice comes in. Trust your players and remember that they have plans too.
Oh, yeah.
Earlier in the campaign, I ran a shared dream sequence where the party was attacked and decimated by a demonic Strahd. The last one remaining was a Tempest Cleric who...
Cleric. The clerics. Holler down in the comments if you're a pod cleric.
who was grappled, that's where I got it from, who was grappled by Strahd and about to be summarily executed.
Okay.
She used Call Lightning and her divine intervention to bring a lightning bolt onto herself, killing herself in the dream before she could be turned. During the final battle, the same scenario happened. Strahd's vampire hordes were closing in, the party was low on health, so some of them rolling death saves, and Strahd grappled the cleric to deliver a fatal blow.
Uh-oh.
I'll never know if she had planned this or simply seized the moment, but she repeated the same move from the dream. Call Lightning with max damage from divine intervention. But this time, the target was Strahd, and in a spot of poetic justice, she cooked his ass.
Yeah, get cooked, bitch.
And delivered the fatal blow. It was perfect. I never would have planned for it, but it just felt right. A moment of sheer terror and despair turned around to be a moment of heroism and victory. The room was filled with excitement and shouts of joy when I asked her, how do you want to do this?
Oh, baby.
So all in all, DMs, remember your players have dramatic instincts too. They are looking to create memorable moments just as much as you are. Don't stress out about being perfect. You just make sure you're putting your players in interesting scenarios. Ultimately, the moments you build together are going to be 10 times more interesting and meaningful. That kind of serendipity only happens when you relinquish a bit of control as a DM.
100%.
Trust the dice, but more importantly, trust your players. Happy rolling podlocks with love from Goose. What a great story.
Like, this is it. Because Matthew's now running for us again for a couple of sessions. And he was like, he said to me, he was very nicely, he was like, how do you run such hard combats? And I was like, what I stopped doing was worrying about how you would deal with things.
Totally.
I just put you in the shit situations.
Yeah, and just know you will.
I put you in the problems.
Yeah.
And I just take my hands off the wheel. And I let Jesus take the wheel. And I just let you figure it out.
Yeah.
And this is it. Like, when you just sacrifice that control to the players, you put them in the fucking shit sandwich.
Yeah.
You put them in the horrible situations. Yeah. And then that's when the magic happens, when they figure it out.
Because they want to live.
Of course they want to live.
They want to succeed. They want to kill the thing. They want to best the
They want to
guy.
win. They want to win. And they're going to do everything they can to do that.
And they're smart.
Yeah.
And well, you know.
Yeah, no, some of them are.
Some of us are smart. Some Josh is smart.
Josh
you know,
is smart.
You know what I mean? But like, you know, it's true. Players are also looking for those moments. And something that, perfect example, Goose here said himself, like, I gave them this dream, didn't think of it again, and then somehow we ended up in this situation. And my player remembered to do it. I love that.
That's it. Like, you just ran a combat that was real tough.
Yep.
You put them in the situation, and then they figure it out.
They figured it out.
They've got subclasses, they've got classes, they've got racial abilities, they've got magic items. They've got so much at their disposal. If they just look at their character sheet, they'll probably go, okay,
yep,
totally. I know what I'm going to do.
Yeah, well, exactly.
And that's it.
Exactly.
It's the faith in them.
Especially after you've gone 2 years in a campaign. You know how your players play. You
100%.
Know what they like to do. You know what their strategies are. You know if they like the flair for the drama. You know what I mean? You know if they think outside of that box.
Yeah.
And I actually think this is some of the best advice you could ever receive as a DM, right?
And it'll take you a while to relinquish that control and to not think of every out and be like, okay, well, this person's going to use this here and this person's going to just hands off the wheel.
Absolutely.
You think of the problem, not the solution. And
absolutely.
Your games will go from like a 9 to a 10.
Exactly.
It'll elevate it just that little bit when you let the players do that.
Well, exactly. And exactly as Goose said themselves, don't worry about being perfect because your players don't want perfect. Your players want a world that's curated together. And like Goose said, interesting scenarios that you make together. Like, that's such perfect, wonderful advice, Goose. Do you want to do this podcast instead?
There's like, I think they're the best moments as well when, like, I think of a scenario and I don't think of the solution.
Yeah.
And then somebody just says something at the table and I'm like,
well,
okay, let's roll some dice and see if it works.
I guess that's that then.
And like the moment that it does just feels fucking like nothing else.
Yeah, totally.
And everyone's like, how did you do that? And you're like,
well,
now do me, mate. You take all the credit, but you didn't really do much.
That's it. That's the joy of it. And I think, maybe that's why we do, you are, first of all, you are great at combat. That is,
Thank you very much.
You completely shine in combat. But I think a reason that we all enjoy it so much is because you do just let us fucking do whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
As long as the dice agree,
yeah,
I'm fucking more than happy to let almost anything happen.
Yeah, true.
If we want to like really bend the uses of spells or like the equipment that we have and just try stupid shit.
Yeah.
When the fucking dice, and I like to like, when shit like that happens, I like to actually set DCs out loud.
Yeah.
So then people can just celebrate as soon as the dice is
exactly.
rolled.
Perfect. Case in point. Dan's.
Yeah, my brother.
When we did the one shot and he had to have a 17 Arcana check.
Yeah, with a -1.
Yeah.
And he rolled an 18 on the dice. I said that out loud and everyone saw the 18 and they were like,
yeah. It was one of the greatest moments in D&D history for us, I think.
For us, I think, yeah.
It was great. Absolutely 10 out of 10 story, Goose. Thank you.
Unreal, Goose.
Yeah, that's really great
Well
advice.
done. Well
Thank you.
done.
Yeah, that's a great story. Thank you. You ready for a horror?
Yeah, let's get it.
All right.
Give it to me.
Okay. Here's a horror. Well, God, is that the only... We've blasted through this so far, don't you think?
This is only the third story.
I mean, true. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. So this has been sent in by Nova, and she goes by she, they.
Thank you very much, Nova.
When I write these out, I put next to it if it's horror or wholesome, and I thought for a second her name was Horror Nova.
Horror Nova. Wholesome.
No! So, yeah, this is a horror story. Yeah. Thank you, Nova.
Thank you, Nova.
When I first started playing D&D, some co-workers discovered I played and approached me asking to be a part of a new game that another friend was planning. I was so excited. Later, the DM messaged me and gave me the details of the game. When I asked him what everyone was playing, because I wanted to make sure we were balanced, he refused to tell me. I didn't think much of it, but I explained to him how I wanted to play a tiefling spellcaster. Since starting to play a few months ago, I always thought that they looked and sounded so cool. Correct.
They do.
You're correct.
They're pretty cool.
However, the DM shot that down with the idea saying tieflings are evil, and our paladin in the party hates them. I didn't quite see the red flags yet. Once again, a paladin.
Look, if look, tiefling's bad in your world, paladin in party doesn't like it. I don't want to say I'm fucking bored.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty fucking bored.
Boom.
Fucking hell. Jesus Christ, am I bored of that fucking bullshit?
I then asked, how are we rolling for stats? To which he said, don't worry about that. In brackets.
I'm worrying.
Red flag too.
Yeah. I would like to, fill out my character sheet before I get there.
Later that day, he sent me my character sheet. Everything was filled out, including my race, class, and even backstory. He gave me a gnome wizard.
It's the end. It's the end.
If I was given a gnome wizard, I'm
an intelligence-based
myself.
Smalley. Margaret's dead. Margaret's dead on sight.
Yeah, I am absolutely collapsing dead. Yeah, oh my god, I'm crumpling up like a spider and dying. He gave me a gnome wizard, which I had no problem with. You're a better woman than me.
I don't either.
Yeah.
Margaret does.
Yeah, you're a better person than me. But wasn't what I wanted to play, aside from the spellcaster. But not only that he chose my spells, one which was Find Fame, and not only, oh my god.
Not only what? I'm hanging on by a thread.
Not only that, he chose my spells. One, which was Find Familiar, and decided I had to have a spider as a familiar.
Okay.
I am very scared of spiders, and I asked if I could change it. He said no. I can't change anything about what he created, or else it won't fit into the story. In brackets, red flag 3.
I just wanna, if you've planned the story to a T where the wizard needs to have a spider familiar,
I think that
I think you may have overwritten the story
I feel like
slightly.
You should maybe think about what the priorities are.
I think you should go and write a book.
Yeah.
I don't think you should be a dungeon master.
Can't change anything about what he created.
And look, I understand that some campaigns have pre-made characters.
No, I get that.
And
I
some people
totally get that.
Love the idea of just getting given something and playing it.
Yeah.
But that's a very small amount of people.
Yeah, well, it gets worse.
Great.
It gets worse.
Great.
The next day, I'm talking to my co-worker and I tell her about the character sheet. Co-worker mentions that she got one too, but her boyfriend, who was playing with us, got to fully create his character.
Because girls can't make D&D characters.
Have you read this?
What?
Have you read this?
No, but I imagine that's what it is.
Oh, it seemed the DM created characters himself for all the girl players.
Because girls are dumb, right?
We approached him about this, and his reasons were, girls can't make good characters that fit into a story, so he always makes characters for his girl players. Silly little pretty thing.
Sweet girl.
Oh, you sit there and be pretty, you little thing.
You can't think.
Oh, God, you can't make a good character for a game.
No. Don't be so stupid.
Oh,
Don't
God,
be...
silly.
Me, the man, the intellectual.
Silly little girl.
Will give you a character.
When asked for further explanation on this, explaining how if he told me more about the game, I could have just made my character around what he was planning, He began to yell at me, and he called me ungrateful and stupid.
Interesting.
Luckily, the game only lasted 2 sessions, and it ended because 2 players were dating and they went through a messy breakup.
I'm surprised you even turned up.
I cannot believe, oh my God, Nova, I cannot believe you even turned up.
Same.
And I am quite happy to say I have not let that experience ruin my fun of D&D. Once again, a better person than me, Nova.
Oh my God, way better person than I.
I don't know how after that you even turned up.
Same.
But then again, it's one of those things where when it was Nova's one of first experiences.
Yeah.
Like, how do you know if that isn't the norm?
do you know what else I just love so much?
Go on.
Girl has problem with man. Man yell.
Oh, man yell.
Man yell.
Man call you ungrateful and stupid.
And yell.
Man yell.
Man yell.
Man immediately yell.
Man do like yell.
Man
bungy.
call woman stupid. Man assume woman can't do thing. Man expect women to accept.
What does assuming do?
Oh,
Tell me down in the comments what assuming does.
Even though
I'll wait.
I love to assume, but go on.
It makes an ass out of you and me. And this person is a complete nutter ass.
My favourite thing here is...
The yelling?
The yelling. Oh,
I love the yelling. Yelling is S tier.
I love men yelling at women.
I love it when men yell.
That's the best.
That's S tier. What else do you like?
Well, A tier is when man come up with story that's so rigid, character has to have spider as pet, or it deconstructs whole story, but say woman can't create character.
I would put that in also an S tier. I think that's also an S tier.
Like, come on. Like, being completely seriously, come on.
Like,
when are we gonna drop this stupid bullshit idea that women can't do anything in a sector other than being a pretty woman who...
Game? It's a tabletop role-playing game.
Too much.
Women are bad at it.
Too much.
It's a game.
Yeah.
No, you can't do that. You're a woman.
Yeah.
Women play with dolls and they're like makeup
and
like dresses and cooking. Yes,
cooking.
And like being yelled at by men.
Like being yelled at by men.
They love being yelled at by men.
Like how many times have we heard this? We had that other horror story where it was the dude absolutely wouldn't believe that she wrote the campaign herself.
God, yeah, do you remember?
Because he was like, women don't write dark things.
Well, no, women write nice things.
Yeah, women can't write dark
pretty
things.
rainbows and unicorns and fairies.
Up. What cave, what fucking jar did you congeal in? You know what I mean? You absolute fucking troglodyte caveman looking ass bitch.
You are pathetic.
Yeah, I hate that.
Jesus Christ.
I'm so sorry, Nova. I'm sorry, first of all, that you were absolutely, completely a victim
do you wanna
of
know what?
Sexism and misogyny.
100%.
But also with a really shit DM.
Yeah, and I'm just fucking baffled, like bamboozled that you went through with the session.
I was going to say bamboozled. How did people like that live in 2023? Nearly 2024.
I don't know. But you turned up, you tried it. Good on you, but you shouldn't have been subjected to that.
Absolutely not. I'm so sorry.
Absolutely pathetic. I would say F tier, man.
Totally. F tier.
I would say bottom of the barrel, man. I would say
absolute rancid vibes,
I would say
man.
Z tier, man.
Totally.
You are a complete loser.
Yeah.
By the women.
Come on. And to yell.
To yell?
Come on.
To be questioned? Your authority has been questioned.
We're better than this.
Yell! Shout!
We're better than this. We're so better than this.
You are a fucking jackass.
Yeah. Let's cleanse it. Cleanse it. Let's cleanse it.
You ready? Maybe some sorbet?
Some lemons. Some
shoveling that sorbet in there.
Yeah. I do love sorbet.
I do be liking sorbet.
I like mango sorbet.
Ooh, I do. I like lemon sorbet. I'm a big lemon sorbet fan.
Have I told you about the time I went to Gordon Ramsay's restaurant?
No.
I went with it was my ex's sister's graduation.
Oh no, you have told me this, I think.
And my ex's dad was a chef.
He was a chef, yeah.
And we went to Gordon Ramsay restaurant, which obviously it's just like a chain restaurant, right? It's like not really got anything to do with Gordon Ramsay.
It's just like
Gordon Ramsay's not in the kitchen.
The menu that he picked, yeah.
Yeah. And they ordered lamb chops and they came out fucked up, so we sent them back. And then I ordered the mango sorbet and they'd like broken off some of the carton that it was in, like the plastic carton into it, and I was eating like the plastic carton.
I mean, that's not great.
You've never seen a chef so upset.
I mean, yeah, I would expect better than eating the plastic tub of ice cream.
Yeah, but it was obviously just like, yeah, I know, but it's just funny. And I'm not kidding you, he was so mad. He was so mad.
Look, like if you overcook something all right, shit happens.
Yeah.
If you're putting plastic in people's food, that's not good.
Yeah, no, I agree.
That's not good. I mean, I'm not going to get fucking like violent about
it. It was a very disappointed anger. It was bad. It was real bad. But yeah, I feel like you're getting a lot of law today.
There's a lot of Margaret law, you know?
Yeah, but I do love mango sorbet.
Nice.
Yeah, I do.
If you can send any mango sorbet.
Yep, to me.
To Margaret. Just address it to Margaret.
With your white owner. Thank you.
Like owner, not like a white owner.
No.
For a second, I was like,
what?
A white owner?
No,
Margaret with a white
owner, my little bear. No! My cute, sweet little bear.
What are you talking about?
She's a little bear. Leave her alone. Leave her out with this.
I wasn't talking about her. She's sweet.
Yeah, she is sweet.
She likes mango sorbet.
Yeah, I think so.
Anyway, Wholesome.
This has been sent in by Arielle, and she goes by she, her.
Thank you, Arielle.
What a beautiful name, by the way. Thank you so much for leaving the pronunciation here, by the way, too. Very much appreciate it.
Yes, we appreciate pronunciations.
Yeah, Arielle. Beautiful name.
Because we like to, pronounce your names right.
Yeah, truly.
Feels good.
Sia.
Look,
so sorry,
Georgia Sammy.
I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry. That was butchered.
That was terrible.
Butchered.
Hello, Jack, Margaret, Bully, and Hex. We have Hex here.
Bum, 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 bum.
Trigger warning for body horror and character death. I promise this is wholesome.
I was about to be like, is this a wholesome?
I promise this is wholesome. Sorry if this is too long to read out. No, not at all. I have been playing with my group for over 2 years. I'm sorry, I'm sweating. Oh my God. I suddenly got so hot just then. Oh, thank you. To have anything on, I can't take this off. I've been playing with my group for over 2 years now. After we met in a GameStar hosted... Sorry.
You just saw Margaret malfunction.
Yeah, sorry. After we met in a GameStar hosted game. Yeah. In a GameStar hosted game.
Yeah.
That our original DM set up.
Yes.
Bloody hell. You know, in UK, we have a GameStar called Game. And I thought that's what she was talking about. She wasn't,
in the video game
she wasn't at all. Just by coincidence, we've managed to randomly collect a bunch of predominantly queer nerds that gel so well together.
Let's go.
I know. Crazy luck. For the past 18 months, our original DM, let's call him L, and I have been alternating sessions, and I've been DMing my first long-running campaign. Our world is a mixture of third-party. Check out RPG Tunes on Patreon for some amazing world building, adventures, one-shots, and papercraft.
Nice.
I'll link them below. Please take a look. And my own homebrew. These are the longest characters my players have had over our time together, and they're all so precious to me. My story is about the death of our bronze dragonborn, Marcus. I promise this does get wholesome. Marcus is a sweet, slightly himbo Oath of the Ancients paladin, and for context, there's a plague going through the city that eventually turns people into eldritch monsters. The party was investigating the disappearance of a pair of fishermen in a beach cave when they eventually came across a pool of water. Marcus prodded the water with his quarterstaff, lovingly called his stick of bonk.
Yeah.
And outburst a gross eldritch abomination that was essentially the combo of a giant crab with the tentacles and one of the missing fishermen. The party was already infected by the plague, and this monster was able to accelerate the sickness. After some bad rolls, the party decided to run. Marcus stayed at the back, and I warned him that if he took another hit, he was at risk of transforming and losing his character. Normal revivify would not be possible due to the change in his body composition. Marcus decided to stay back anyway to let the party run one at a time through the narrow exit to the cave and got transformed into an eldritch horror. I reminded the party that there was a high-level druid in the town that could cast reincarnation, overcoming the problem with Marcus's body being transformed. But to do so, they'd have to have a piece of Marcus's body. Our cleric solemnly used her cursed sword, another story for another time, to take a piece of Marcus's body back to town. I ran the critical role resurrection rules and had my party make contributions towards the resurrection. Our bards sang the ballad of Marcus the Brave. The cleric offered a drawing of Marcus in a flower crown and with a butterfly on his snout.
No.
And our fighter recited a sonnet. We were all crying at this point.
I'm not surprised.
And Marcus now only needed a 2 for the resurrection to succeed.
Come on.
And he rolled a natural 20.
Yeah! I think it was a natural 1.
No. I narrated for Marcus what he was seeing with his nature goddess in Elysium, where she described him as the heart of the party and that they needed him to go on. She put a flower crown on his head, kissed his snout, and sent him through the tree portal back to his body. We rolled on the reincarnation table in the player's handbook, but we just weren't feeling the result. So I looked for a table with the full race options from all books. Keeping the original dice roll, Marcus was reincarnated once again as a dragonborn.
Yeah.
Now bleached white and with cold breath instead of fire to reflect his passage through death.
That sounds sick.
It seemed to be destiny. Although it was a panic station moment for me as a DM,
obviously,
I think that this was the most perfect way it could have turned out.
True.
And one of the best sessions of D&D I have ever played. We were all so emotionally invested in Marcus, and he is so special to all of us. Thank you for reading Marcus's story and for your hard work on the Podblast, my #1 on Spotify.
Oh, let's go.
Thank you, Arielle.
Thank you so much. What a great story. Long live Marcus. King Marcus.
Oh, man.
Man, that was good. I love the change of like the ice breath and stuff like that for the passage through death. That's really clever.
So cool.
That's just such a cool like character development.
That is so cool.
And I just, like when you do reincarnation, you don't have to roll on the table if you don't want to.
Like
you really don't have to.
Totally.
You can just make something slightly change about your character like that.
Like that.
The scales of the Dragonborn.
Perfect.
Unreal. Perfection.
I really love that as well. You were kind of all rolling. You were like, not really feeling this, and you were willing to just like do something else.
Do it, you want.
Yeah, what a beautiful story. And Marcus just being like, oh, no, you all go, and I'll stick.
The bonk stick.
Oh God.
With the bonk stick.
Man, it's always stuff like that absolutely wrecks me. What a beautiful story. And
so
to get a natural 20, man, I can't imagine the tension at that table at the time as well. Oh, goodness me. There is something about a character dying that just
goes so hard.
It
does, yeah, it does.
Absolutely fucks.
As long as they can come back if they want to. Like it can read like that. Yeah. That has just made an amazing moment from a death of a character.
You always remember that. All of you will always remember that.
Never.
No, never. That will always be the story that you're like, do you remember that time when Marcus fucking died?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good.
Oh, I love that. Oh man, that is just peak D&D right
peak
there.
Peak D&D.
Peak
It's what we live for. It's what we're here for.
Oh man.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Arielle. That's a beautiful story. So, wow. Well, shall we go back to our story?
Yeah, can't wait. Let's go.
I hate doing this last horror story. It always feels so bad.
The last one?
Yeah, this is the last one. Is it? No, wrong. So wrong. Absolutely not the last.
There should be one more. That was only the 4th story, I think.
You like how I was like, oh, we're blasting through this.
Yeah, horror stories. They like. There's a lot to them. It take a while.
That was not. Yeah, sorry. This is not the last horror story. This is the second to last horror story. This is one from Reddit. This is a Reddit horror story.
Uh-oh.
Everyone, this is a Reddit horror story.
Prepare yourselves. Get your shields. Yeah. Shield wall.
The title is, I said my character was on her period in a campaign and I got kicked out for it. Obviously, unfortunately, there is an essay warning here. Please skip ahead if that is something that makes you uncomfortable. I am the only female player in my D&D group.
I could have guessed that from the title.
Yeah, absolutely. My character has been essayed and approached by orcs wanting to have intercourse because I'm playing a female elf. Whenever I say something about it, the DM says he just wants to play a realistic game. Do you
want to, just to completely shut this down already and just to talk about something? Orcs don't exist. Neither do elves. And you saying you want to play a realistic game where orcs only want to SA elves.
Yeah.
You're talking about realism.
Yeah, realistic to what?
Realistic to what?
Oh, realistic to your own sick thoughts. Interesting.
Yeah, realistic to what? What are you comparing it to? What is real about that situation? It is a made-up situation by you. And that's just an excuse.
Kind of fucking scary that is how you perceive to be realistic.
Like, what's kind real about that? Like, I just don't, that's not a reason or an excuse.
Yeah, kind of weird.
Stop it.
Yeah. However, it doesn't happen often enough to make me just want to leave.
Well, once is enough.
Yeah. Well, oh, God.
Once is more than enough.
100%.
Too much.
Yeah.
Some would say.
We were about to fight a vampire when he said he smelt blood. I joked that it was me he was smelling as I was on my moon cycle after the vampire had already flirted with me. And the DM asked, why would he smell me over the others and what a moon cycle was? You being serious? I looked him straight in the face and said, because she's on her period. And so she's bleeding. All the other players acted like this was the grossest thing I have ever said. And even though they heard me describe disembowelments before, my DM looked at me and said, elves don't get periods.
What?
I said they're humanoids with an ovulation cycle, and I was just trying to play realistic.
Yeah, realistic. It's the most realistic thing that's ever happened at this fucking
that's a real thing.
Stupid bullshit table.
That's a real thing that happens.
It's the literal only realistic thing that's been said so far. You fucking idiot.
Then the DM asked me to leave.
Fucking hell.
Oh my god. After leaving the Roll20 and Discord server, I did look it up, and Ed Greenwood, the creator of the Forgotten Realms, does indeed say that elves do menstruate.
So it is realistic.
Like, yeah, so it's realistic. Oh, man. Oh.
Man, like, look. Look.
Come on.
You do understand, men, that women can't do anything about it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And not just women, by the way. Like,
not yet.
You don't have to be a woman to have a
You
period.
don't have to be a woman to have a period.
You have to have a period.
Shout out to my my non-binary people, my trans people out there. Like, you don't have to, but just so you
women,
know,
my friends.
But just so you know, people can't help it.
Like,
and it's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's
and making a fucking problem out of it is fucking horrendous.
And to be like, I can see it. I can see it because I've been there.
Just the disgust.
The men around the table squirming and being but disembowelments.
Oh yeah.
What is it? What's the Drake meme?
Yeah.
Disembowelments.
Disembowelments.
Periods. Like, come on.
Come on. Like, we're better than this, man.
This reminds me of one time, we were out with some people, and a dude was like, yeah, I hate periods.
Oh my God, yeah, I remember
are the worst. He was like, I hate periods.
I hate periods. It's like, oh, I'm so glad that you as a man hate periods.
Like, there was like a group of women, and we were all like, yeah, we do too. Why do you hate it? And he was like, smells.
Yeah. I can't have intercourse with my wife.
Smells. And we were like, oh God!
Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, are you okay?
Oh, and
would you like to lay down?
He was just like gross. He was like gross, and I was like, oh God, yeah, no, it's so inconvenient when the lining of my uterus is shedding out through my body, and he was like, oh, that's a bit fucking gross, isn't it? And it's like,
you're gross, man.
Come on, dude.
What's
wrong with you?
You're gross.
Like, absolutely the lamest shit ever.
It's a natural bodily function.
Yeah.
We can do nothing about it.
Yeah.
Let's just let it happen, not make it a thing, not make it a problem.
Who cares?
And especially don't kick people out of fucking D&D groups because they mentioned that it's happening.
And also, by the way, the only reason OP mentioned it was happening because the vampire was trying to make a move on her.
Yeah.
That's the only reason. It
was like defense.
That was the only reason. Absolutely pathetic. And also, to be completely serious here, to go back to the whole SA thing and wanting to include those things because it's realistic. Like, we play a game to escape. Yeah. We play a game to live in a world that is definitely different to ours.
Yeah.
But we do it because we play a game to have fun.
And look,
and to escape.
And we've also said it a million times before. Like, things can be explored.
Absolutely.
In very safe surroundings and environments where everybody's okay and everybody's on board, but
this is absolutely not it.
It's just not it. This just ain't it. This just ain't it.
Absolutely vile.
And what's a moon cycle?
What's a moon cycle? What's ovulation?
What's ovulation?
What? Like, are these people like kids?
I don't know. Must be.
Like, do you know what I mean? Are they like
idiots?
Yeah, well, yeah, but the thing is, at the same time, like, there isn't enough education around women's bodies, and there isn't enough education around like what women go through.
Of course there's not.
Like, and I'm saying women. I obviously don't just mean women, because again, you don't have to be a woman to have a period.
No.
But like, what period having people go through?
Yeah.
Like, there just isn't enough.
It's because our educational system is
terrible.
A fucking disaster.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we care more about fucking the history of fucking this and that. And, I agree that history is, like, important and stuff. But, like, the science of this and the geography, it's just like, why don't we just tell each other about how fucking bodies work first?
I know.
So we can understand, like, the pains and the fucking shit that we go through as people.
Hey, if you're a period having person, you've had this conversation. You have unfortunately had someone being disgusted at something that your body naturally
like,
does every
wait,
month.
what do you want me to do about it?
Like,
do you want me to just hide when it happens?
Everyone who has a period knows what this conversation is like.
Should I just exile myself from the world so you don't have to be around me when I... Shut up,
Lame.
Man.
So lame. So lame. And I can excuse kids. Like... I can excuse kids
because you don't. They don't.
They
get
don't
it.
understand.
They haven't lived enough of the world to understand.
I can excuse that. I can excuse like little boys, little kids being grossed out about it, but like not adults.
No, there's no fucking excuse.
Not at all. I'm sorry, OP.
I'm
sucks.
very very sorry.
That's
just
smells like shit.
That is dreadful.
That's the worst.
That's so bad.
That's the worst.
Let's just never make a big deal about somebody being on their period.
I got that.
Because there's no need to.
I got this story from the TTRPG Horror Story Reddit, right? And I sought it by like recent and most recent like hot ones, and this was absolutely the top. Like,
oh yeah,
of course.
I bet you there's fucking absolute neckbeard fucking idiots in the comments being like, you shouldn't never bring that up.
Yeah, I know. It's like, well, why did you have to get so gross about it? It's like,
but we disembowel and behead and fucking lobotomize enemies.
Shut up.
But we can't talk about like something that happens in like reality. And we were talking about realistic. That is the most realistic thing that's been said at that table. I'm telling you right now.
And absolutely, totally, like what Jack said. I know OP, and you can never ever put yourself in OP's position. Like what OP decides for themselves is their choice. But they say like it didn't happen enough for me to warrant leaving. One time is more than enough.
Once is too much.
Yeah, once is too much. And if you've ever been in a position like that, just know that's not normal. Just know they are the outlier, and you absolutely have every right to be uncomfortable and upset and to leave.
And to leave, yeah.
Yes.
If you've ever been subjected to any SA in a D&D game,
yep.
Like when somebody, the dungeon master or another player tries to do it, that's already too much and you should leave.
Completely.
Or that person should be fucking kicked from the game in that instant.
Completely.
No, like, well, no.
Yeah, we all know that feeling of being the one in the group that everyone is like dogpiling on. We all know what that's like. And it sucks. I'm sorry, P.
I'm very sorry that happened to you.
Yeah, me too.
But it's over now.
Let's wipe this up with a wholesome, shall we?
Yes, please.
Let's get the wholesome in here, shall we? Hello, Jack and Mags. Oh, no, sorry. This is sent in by Natalie, and she goes by she, her.
Thank you very much, Natalie.
Thank you, Natalie. Hey, Jack and Mags. Long-time listener, first-time submissioner.
Oh, yeah. You do be submissioning, though.
You do be submissioning.
Thank
you so much, Natalie. My wholesome bit isn't particularly long, but I just wanted to spread some joy. So for context, I'm a trans woman, and I have been in the process of transitioning for a little while now, but I have struggled to work up the nerve to come out. A few weeks ago, I began the long process of coming out, and it has been nerve-wracking. I don't want to get into the gritty details, but suffice to say, it hasn't exactly gone great with family.
It's okay.
Feeling crestfallen from that, I wasn't sure how this was going to go with my D&D group, who were all men, and the group chat is literally the boys. And for most of them, I don't know their political leanings or have any idea how it was going to go. But I'm happy to say that since I've come out to them, I've gotten nothing but love and support. I can now more comfortably lean into more femme characters and role-playing, which I was uncomfortable doing prior to coming out. And my group is totally fine with it, and they're just happy to see me being myself. They've even renamed the group chat. I wanted to share this just in case there is anyone who is in a similar situation who is struggling to be themselves or also feels too scared to come out. I think D&D is something special that really allows us to experiment with identity and embody different aspects and roles we wouldn't adopt in our day-to-day lives. I think it also offers the skills for a unique kind of empathy for those going through that as well. And that is why I love D&D. Thanks, Nat.
Very good.
There you go.
Very good.
There you go. What a beautiful story.
What a brilliant story.
I'm so sorry, Nat, to hear about your family.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I really hope for them, for their sakes, that they can come round, that one day they will be able to meet you on the other side of this.
Mm-hmm.
And
a lot of trans people coming out to their parents, I think when you talk about parents, like, they are just sadly usually a generation behind.
Mm-hmm.
And being trans isn't a new thing.
No,
but,
trans people have been around.
Trans people have been around forever.
But
But like they are just fucking so stuck in the past, and they just struggle to comprehend it, sadly. And you aren't the only person who's been through this struggle. Sadly, we've heard this same thing a few times.
Yeah.
But just so you know that we love you here and we accept you, and whoever you want to be is completely fine. And,
absolutely.
And that should never be an issue for anyone.
Yeah.
But I hope for you that your parents do come around.
Yeah, because it's their loss.
Yeah, it is. It's their loss. But you want to know what?
Clear, it's their loss.
Shout out to the boys.
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 The boys are coming through.
See, like, this is it. And again, you know, the reason we read out stories like that last one, which are absolutely so completely vile and disgusting, and DMs going, I just want it to be realistic, and include nasty, hateful, awful, evil things like that, there's someone sat at the other side of it who might be like Natalie, who might be sat there transitioning, not sure how to approach it with people, getting this feeling of safety and empathy and a new way to explore themselves in D&D, and then you come in with shit like that.
Bullshit like that.
You know what I mean?
Damn.
Like,
but the boys. And again, it says a lot. Honestly. It does. It says a huge amount.
It says a lot when you have a group of, you do just say men, I'm not sure if they're cis men, but a group of men nonetheless, who, let me be honest, I heard they're a group of men.
And I had little faith, sadly.
I did too. Yeah. I really did. And the fact that there is a group of men out there.
On the internet.
Who are like, hell yeah.
Fuck yeah.
We don't care.
Don't give a shit.
They accommodate you.
Why the fuck should you?
Why should you?
Who fucking gives a fuck?
I know.
Who you want to be, how you want to present. Who the fuck should ever give a fuck?
Yeah, completely.
There's more to life.
Yeah, and it comes from a place of privilege.
Yeah.
Like, white, cis men, and again, I don't know if they're white, cis men.
Yeah.
You know, men, men come from a place of privilege because the world is built for them.
Yeah, 100%.
The world is built for men. Men are never underrepresented. They always see themselves. They're the hero. They're the main character. Men have never had to worry about feeling underrepresented. Men have never had to worry about being themselves. Men have never had to worry about
being a man.
Being a man, exactly. And what a privilege that is. And I'm sorry that, you know, we sit here, we're privileged. We've never had to go through this.
Never.
We've never had to go through the worry of saying who we are and risking losing something for it. Never. We'll never understand that feeling.
And the least we can do is what we do.
Totally.
You know, as a white cis man, the least I can do is try and uplift and look out for and encourage everyone around me.
Yeah, and I think that's all any of us can do.
The fucking world has been paved with gold for me. I've never been oppressed. I've never been marginalized. I've never been underrepresented. I've never been anything but lucky. Yeah. And the least I can do is sit on the internet and say, your family should accept you for who you want to be. And like, you being who you want to be isn't the problem. And that's it. And the fact that the guys on the internet, just like that phrase, guys on the internet.
I know.
And then you were like, they even changed the chat name. Yeah. They said that they were just happy for you to be who you want to be.
Yeah, happy for me. They uplift
Shout
me.
out the boys.
Shout out to the boys.
Because I shouldn't be shouting out the boys because it's the fucking least they should do.
Shout out to the boys.
But shout out to the boys because genuinely,
shout out to the boys.
Because there are people who do far less than that.
And shout out to people like the boys. Shout out to people like you. Shout out to
everyone.
Yeah,
all of you,
totally.
Because all we can do here is look out for each other.
And also, this is all not to say that men don't go through struggles.
100%.
Men, absolutely. Men are failed every day.
100%.
Every day. And men go through difficulties and struggle, but just not those.
No, just not. Yeah.
Just not those ones.
Like, and you know, we've mentioned a million times, like, men go through struggles as well.
Yeah, of course.
And I do believe that. And we are failed.
You are failed
by the system.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we do have things pretty good for a lot of reasons. Just imagine those struggles that you have and then mount on everything else that everyone else has to go through. So
indeed. Thank you so much, Natalie. What a beautiful story. And
thank you,
really
Natalie. That's a brilliant story.
I hope Natalie's story has talked to anyone feeling the same way or going through the same thing. And just know you're safe and you're welcome here. Yeah. And we're proud of you. And you're always welcome.
Let Natalie know in the comments that we love them very much because it's nice to see those things.
And the boys.
And the fucking boys.
And the boys. Oh, big up the boys.
Big up the boys.
All right, are we ready for this horror story? This horror story, this is just kind of funny.
Okay.
This is just the kind of funny one.
So is there another wholesome after
There's
this?
2 wholesomes after this.
There's
2 wholesomes after this.
Let's go.
So this horror story, the character, this is from the Reddit, by the way.
Yeah.
The title is, My Character is an Atheist. Cringy Atheist Breaks My Game.
Say.
Hello there. It's not much of a horror story, more likely a short tale of cringe and heavy face palms. A few years ago, I had an idea to run a Warhammer fantasy campaign set in the horrible French wasteland of Bretonnia. For those not familiar, imagine a romantic view of Arthurian England set in a stereotypical version of France, how the British think would be. I don't know what that means.
Don't know, but it sounds cool.
I have no idea what that means. The campaign itself never really got to its first session due to me being a lazy piece of shit.
Happens.
And my
Do you know what?
Happens.
Doing that before the campaign starts is way better than doing it when the campaign starts.
It happens. Hey, it happens. And my regular group of players being uninterested in the half-assed setting I made, but that's just how things go. Okay. I would completely forget about this entire endeavor if it were not one of the most cringiest moments I ever experienced as a DM. So I want to expand that my regular group had a new acquaintance from university. Cringy, they're calling him Cringy, was an okay dude, and even after this story, I had a few bumps into him where we usually had a good time chatting and memeing. Nothing wrong with the guy, but he could be a giant cringe lord from time to time. But hey, he that is without sin among you, let him first cast the stone.
Very good. Let's go.
So on to the story. During our regular short chats with Cringy, he mentioned playing D&D before, but his friend group dispersed after a few sessions. He was still interested in the hobby and wanted to play, to which I said, you are lucky. Though I didn't run D&D, I told him my plan to make a Warhammer Fantasy short campaign and asked him if he was interested in trying out a different system. He said okay, and after both of us got home, we jumped onto Discord to have an unofficial session 0.
Nice.
I started to explain the Warhammer world, mainly focusing on the main setting. He was usually silent during all of this, sometimes asking a few questions, but it was okay. When I finished, I asked him if he was still interested, to which he said, I want to bring in a character who is not a believer. I tried to explain to him that's not really an option, hence the gods in Warhammer usually interfere with mortal affairs. Some countries are either directly advised or even ruled by living gods. Cringy. I don't buy it. Me? What?
What don't you buy? Which part don't you buy?
Cringy. I think you just want to set me up. And the gods later will turn out to be just, I don't know, evil wizards who pretend to be gods to steal money from people. Me. Huh?
What?
Cringy. Oh, sorry. Did I ruin your big reveal? I still cannot forget the amount of smugness in his voice when he said it. Although I thought he was either joking or I was the one who explained the setting wrong. Me, trying to explain again, constantly asking him if my explanation is understandable for him. Cringy. Oh, you don't need to pretend I didn't foresee your big reveal. I'm just too smart for this.
Yeah, your brain's way too big, mate.
At this point, I realized he isn't joking. And I just got irritated
He's not joking. He's just an idiot.
By his unapologetic smugness. I had a brief thought for a moment. Having to deal with problem players before and after gave me every reason to think that this behavior is not a good sign.
Nope.
And I really didn't have the mental capacity to deal with it.
Nope.
So I told him he was right. That he is too smart for me, and since he already saw my big reveal at the end, I can't help it. I told him he won the campaign, and because of it, maybe he should not come to play the game. We parted in a civilized way, and we still talk occasionally, but I never invited him to play with us ever again.
Wow, you are a far bigger person than I.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I just unravel your entire story in front of your eyes? I do that on occasion. I'm known for it.
Like, God.
Oh my God.
And the worst thing is, We've all encountered someone like this.
I don't think I've ever encountered someone that
You've
bad.
never encountered someone
That
this bad? Granted, you don't really spend a lot of time on the internet.
I also immediately, as soon as I don't like somebody, just
don't
leave.
deal with them. Yeah, true.
As soon as I dislike, I just leave.
This behavior is big on the internet, and I understand that OP's story is obviously, real
Tips
life.
his fedora.
Yeah,
milady, let me tip my fedora at you.
Yeah, I feel bad for OP because it's like they spent the whole time trying to actually explain and then just, I want to be a non-believer.
I want to be an unbeliever. It's like, the thing is, right, I could see a world where that setting is true.
Yeah,
and
me too.
you're an atheist, but it's not that you don't believe in the gods because the gods exist. You just don't believe in what the gods
what they do.
stand for.
Totally.
Yeah, you hate the gods and you're an atheist.
Yeah, and
that's fine.
I think that plot twist is a cool plot twist.
That's cool. I
really
that.
like that, but I feel like this is just an example of someone thinking they know best.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, 100%.
Like, we all know this type of person.
Your brain is far. Your brain is far too small.
I got a
in
little pea brain.
It's minute.
Oh God, I don't have the brain cell today.
You don't.
This person.
The IQ of this person is astronomical.
Yeah. I just love that. I will never forget the smugness in his voice. Like, genuinely thinking that they did something here.
Yeah. Oh, they were believing.
Oh, they were like, well, you don't have to pretend.
You don't have to lie for me.
You don't have to lie around me.
I'm a bit of a big deal. Give me old Ron Burgundy.
I'm a big deal.
I'm a bit of a big deal.
What a funny story. Yeah, just a little funny one.
I have many leather-bound books.
Like just a funny.
Very good.
One. Like, would be absolutely infuriating in the moment, I'm sure.
Oh my goodness. I'm like, the fact that you entertained them and were like, you're right.
Yeah, you won. How would you deal with that?
Yeah, me?
Yeah.
Just fucking leave. As soon as I heard that bullshit and I tried to explain again and they didn't, and they were still like, oh no, I'd have just gone, that's enough. I'm done with you now, actually.
I'm done.
I'm finished with you.
I think I would be too stunned to speak.
Yeah, and I think I would be too, and that's why I would leave.
Too stunned to speak. Yeah. I just don't think I would. I don't know how I would deal
with
that.
I'm at a gas of your stupidity, actually, and I leave.
Yeah, I would be. I don't know how I would handle that. I don't know if I would even be able to be like, I don't know. I think I would crumble.
I'm telling you, leaving.
Yeah.
Leaving is the option.
I think I would crumble and die.
Leaving is the option.
If I was in that scenario, I would probably die. Yeah, I would just simply pass away.
Come on, give me it.
I'd simply be dead. That's actually a good funny one. So the last wholesome ones.
No,
again,
the last wholesome ones.
Yes.
I thought you were about to say last.
There's an extra wholesome one at the end because I really, really like the story. It's a good story. So this last wholesome, the second to last. Second to last wholesome.
Literally just explain the situation. Yeah. Right, the last one.
This has been sent in by Kinos and they go by they, them.
Thank you, Kinos.
Thank you so much. And there is a content warning for animal death, and not in game. This was a really sweet moment earlier from our campaign. We're all first-time players with a veteran DM. Throughout the campaign, our Death Domain cleric has been the one party member who loves to collect animals, specifically undead ones or animals that cannot be permanently killed. So far, there is a skeleton horse, an animated tressum, which is a winged cat skeleton, and an onyx statue that turns into a black dog.
Very cool.
This is partly because last year, our cleric's real-life cat unfortunately passed away due to a long-term illness. Our latest game was a wedding episode between the cleric and an NPC that they had been romancing for a while. Although our party got sidetracked by the arrival of the cleric's great-granddaughter from the future and some cryptid warnings about events to come, the wedding itself was a lovely goth-themed celebration. Our rogue crafted the rings, our bard played a cover of MCR's Welcome to the Black Parade.
Let's go!
As an altar song.
Let's go.
And my paladin provided the black roses. But what really set the scene was the wedding gift left behind by the great-granddaughter /RDM. A glass-like hypercube with a text on it that said, "They are the last of their kind. Happy wedding day." And inside the cube, there was a cat with lynx ears, a lion's tail, and a coat that sparkled like the deepest night sky. An aether cat that would live forever in our game.
You got it. Is that the end?
That's the end.
Oh. That's really sweet. That's such a nice thing for the Dungeon Master to do.
What?
Like, losing a pet can be really hard. I feel like, I feel like, you know, just to get into it here, like as our generation is becoming adults, and none of us want children, because we don't.
Because boo.
Yeah. And not saying that, you know, if you have kids, totally fine. That's your decision.
Yeah, I'm in awe of your resilience.
The majority of us just get pets.
Yeah.
And it's tough. Like, losing a pet is so fucking hard.
Yeah.
Like, unbelievably hard.
Yeah.
And I feel like it doesn't get the fucking the attention that it deserves. Like, you don't get any time off work or anything for losing a pet or anything like that, which for some people it's like a life-altering...
A life-shattering event.
And for those of you who are like, don't be so fucking stupid, like...
No, I think that opinion's changed. I
don't think it has for some people, sadly.
I think people really... You know, you know what? Especially through the pandemic, I think people really understand the importance of having like a companion. And our generation is at the age where, like you said,
we got adult money.
Yeah, we got adult money.
We got adult money. You know, we got houses and stuff.
Yeah, and people could be having children,
but they're not.
We're at the age now where a lot of our age group are getting their own pets, and like losing a family pet's awful,
dreadful,
but like losing
your pet,
like
so tough,
absolutely so harrowing, so painful. And what a wonderful, sweet, thoughtful, kind thing to do for the DM to just give a little homage to them,
and the fact that it can't die.
Yeah,
let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go.
I just think that is just such a thoughtful thing to do. To have that forethought as well, to be like, well, okay,
It's just like you didn't have to do that.
Yeah, let's let them live on in game.
In game, the memory in game. That's so sweet.
That's so beautiful.
That's such a wonderful thing for you.
I'm upset.
No.
Oh, what a wonderful
Is the last one hard to read?
No, it's not.
Okay.
It's not. The last one's really good.
You want to take a drink?
Yeah. I want to take a drink.
I'm going to take a drink right here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, that upset me a little bit.
Yeah, I thought it would.
That got me a little bit, I'm not going to lie. What about you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Thank you so much for that story, Kinos.
That was a beautiful story.
That's a beautiful story.
Thank you,
absolutely Kinos. Love the bop of Welcome to the Black Parade as
let's go.
A wedding song.
Right. Okay, for all my emo kids in the chat.
Go on. Right. I'm here. It's me. I'm emo kids.
Yeah. You've already answered this though.
Okay.
And I've asked this over the last few days.
Yeah.
I've asked it because we've been listening to a lot of MCR.
Yeah.
What's the best MCR song? What is the best MCR song? Because I know what my favourite is.
Are you going to tell him?
Yeah, I'll tell you what my favourite is.
I can't remember. It's famous last words.
It's famous last words.
Oh, no. Nah, I'm not. We can't. No. Yeah, like what? No. You gotta stop.
It's when everything stops and the fucking riff comes in. It's like.
I know.
Like, why does that riff go so hard?
I don't know.
Why does that riff go so hard?
Genius.
Tell me.
Genius. Don't know. What is your favourite MCR
What's your favourite
song?
MCR song?
And if it's not famous last words, get out of here.
That's not your favourite either.
No, I think, to be fair, it actually is. I genuinely think I Don't Love You is one of my favourite MCR songs, honestly. And I really love Helena as well.
Helena's
I think Helena is a great song.
I know it gets played a lot, but fuck me, there's a reason.
And you know, it's so stereotypical of me to say like the popular songs, but like genuinely, Helena.
Yeah, they're good. They're big for a reason.
Helena's like an earth-changing song.
Yeah.
I love that song.
But if it's not famous last words, you
even a fan?
I think you're wrong, but that's okay.
Yeah, we've been when we play online with our friends.
Yeah, we play Season of Discovery because we don't need huge amounts of concentration.
Well, that's not necessarily true. We were doing some high mythic keys and WoW retail. We were doing some 16s.
See, I can't do it with that, but I can do it with Season of Discovery.
And it's so funny because Jack's the tank and me and Jord are just the silly little DPS, so we do whatever. We were just absolutely rocking.
You guys were rocking now I'm calling for like I need
you.
Jordan, I need your AoE stun. Margaret, I need a binding shot, and they're like, there's nothing I can say.
Yep, good shit. We call it emo night.
We just call it.
And we have emo night every night.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your beautiful story.
Thank
Kinos.
you.
Beautiful story.
That was brilliant.
This last one. This is from the Reddit.
Let's get it.
And again, I found this when I was going through for stories. I read it and I was like, this is too good. I cannot not put this in. I cannot not put this in.
Go on, give me the treat.
So, a new player to our 20-plus year group was the key player in the greatest moment of my adventure.
Let's go.
So, quick adventure summary to start off, bullet point style. Party is a group that work for an organization that is the equivalent of D&D's version of the SCP Foundation. Do you know what that means?
No.
SCPs are basically like horror things that are being contained. They're like, they contain entities, basically. They like researchers for entities.
Okay, cool.
Oh, out loud. Sorry. Oh my god, I shocked myself. OP actually gives a breakdown.
All right,
they investigate anomalous entities and such and attempt to secure or contain them, all to protect the world.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
They're the Ghostbusters.
They're the Ghostbusters.
Let's go.
Second point. Longtime players are Air Genasi Warlock, Half-Elf Priest of Mask, Tiefling Warlock, Shifter Barbarian / Ranger, and an Owlin Wizard, whom are joined in this campaign by a new player, a human bard, a friend of the Shifter PC who has decided to give D&D a shot, finally.
Awesome.
Point 3. They haven't said numbers. Party dispatched to Port Town to investigate initially harmless spectres of aquatic creatures that move like ghosts throughout the city, dubbed Whispers, earning a boost in tourism and researchers. Recently, after months of enjoying their novelty, the Whispers begin to become dangerous, attacking and killing random people in town, causing a panic. This is when our team arrives. And the final point. Investigation leads them to a small chain of islands in the bay. They adventure through hidden caves and encounter an Alhoon who nearly wipes the party before casting them aside and continuing on to complete his plan of resurrecting an ancient eldritch horror, whose petrified form is hidden beneath the waves, the islands being its exposed spine. The Whispers are its waking dreams. First of all,
very
cool
cool.
As fuck.
Super cool. Love that.
How cool is that?
Do you want when things are so gargantuan that like pieces of their bodies have been used for like building towns and
really
cities?
Scares me.
That gets me fucking riled.
That scares the life
out of me. That gets me so hyped. Like I'm hyped. Like
I'm hyped.
I'm fucking hyped.
But that's terrifying.
I can't
to
wait.
me.
It's so fucking cool.
So got that? Okay. So after regrouping, catching up to what is an Alhoon?
I don't know.
Oh, catching up to the Alhoon and meeting Agonia. Find out what an Alhoon is.
You crack on.
No, I'll wait because I want to see.
Alhune.
Alhoon. 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 I don't know. Go on. Is it a demon?
It just looks like a fucking massive mind flayer.
I thought you were going to say it just looks like a dude.
Yeah, it just looks like a mind flayer.
Okay, all right. Catching up to the Alhoon and meeting it on the rising head of the great gargantuan horror as it rises from the sea, the group once again engages in the undead Illithid in combat.
Yeah,
no, it's an Illithid. I could have just read. Having earned a level or two since their last encounter. The battle begins on the small island where the brain of the entity is contained and a giant ruby on a dais in the middle of the area. The Alhoon has been pumping it with evil magic to rouse it from its slumber, and now it's nearly awake.
Let's go.
The party engages. This time, they all save on the opening mind blast, except the bard. For 12 rounds, as her comrades battle the creature, 2 falling in the process and the remainder on their last legs, she is stunned and forced to watch in horror as the Alhoon plans to use its layer action on the...
12 rounds?
I don't think that she was stunned for 12 rounds.
Right, okay.
I think just 12 rounds had gone.
Okay.
The Alhoon plans to use its layer action on the next turn to imbue the brain with the last bit of energy needed to finalize the awakening. It is levitating out of reach just off the island's ledge when initiative is rolled. The bard wins, with the Alhoon going immediately after before any other players could react. The table turns quiet and dire. All the breath in the room ceases as the bard finally takes her turn. She rolls to break the Mind Blast stun for the 13th time.
So she was stunned. 12 rounds.
She finally succeeds. The table gains a smaller amount of life again, hopeful, but doubtful as well that this good ending is beyond saving. She has no ranged weapons and no spells she trusts to damage it, as it has been negating spells and has advantage against any magic. She pulls out a hammer, her only melee weapon, and asks if she can just throw it. I nod, of course, preparing for how can I fudge this to prevent a TPK. She hurls it at the illithid. The room becomes so quiet you can hear the dice echo in your ears as she rolled it. She hits. Murmurs and hopeful gasps slide from the players' mouths. She rolls damage. The group moans dejectedly as she rolls a meager 4 for damage. I turn over my notes where everyone can see. Alhoon had exactly 4 HP left.
Fuck's sake.
The group absolutely erupts. You guys, I could not have been more happy for her. Her first adventure, then stunned for so long.
Oh, man.
Only to action hero the BBEG at the very last moment with the damage needed on the dot. The smiles and cheers and congratulations that rocked the room were sincerely heartwarming, especially after watching her dejectedly fail every stun up to that point. Watching as her friends were killed and then the world possibly ending. She absolutely lit up. We all did. Honestly, it was one of the greatest moments I had ever DM'd, and I hope I made it a memory for her that will cement D&D as something amazing to her forever.
There we go.
What a fucking amazing story.
Oh, sick. Do you want to? My favorite thing to do. Yeah. You know what I'm going to say.
Go on.
Is when it's a close fight.
Oh.
And it's happened so many times. And everyone's like,
I know.
Like, you roll the dice.
And it's dire.
And then you go like, you get your 2d6 and you're like,
yep.
8. And you look at me and I look at everyone and I pick up the tile because I've got the HP on the back of the tiles and I turn it around and it says 8 on it. And they all go.
There is no better feeling.
Doing exactly the amount of damage you needed to do to kill someone.
There's no better feeling than that.
Is the greatest feeling of all time.
It is the greatest feeling
Especially
of all time.
when you stunned for 12 rounds. A combat that went 12 rounds.
Oh my god, a combat that went for 12 rounds is a lot of rounds. That's a lot.
I mean, boss fights, like end game boss fights.
Still true.
Can go that long.
That is a lot of rounds. That is a lot of
especially
it's
a lot of rounds to be stunned.
Oh my god. You know what? Like, there's something to be said about how long she was stunned for. But
I mean,
at
the end of the day, if you just fail something and then just can't succeed, there's like the DM can't just go, it stops.
Get out of here. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's tough. Like, you need to be given an advantage by someone somewhere. Some bad against women, you are the bad. So,
I know. Yeah, I know.
To get the 4.
I know. And I like how OP was like, I was ready to try and fudge this a little bit.
Yeah. 4. You did 4
and
damage.
It's the way that she rolled the 4 damage and everyone was like, ooh.
How would you want to do this?
Oh, man.
Very
that
good.
fucking, God, that is the most exciting fucking shit ever.
Love that.
Once again, I know we keep mentioning that is exactly like your brother's experience in the one shot.
It's just like sometimes the stars just fucking align.
Sometimes they just do.
And it's just the best feeling ever.
Yep. And I bet for her, especially because she really wanted to play D&D and asked to play, I bet that experience for her,
never not play D&D ever again.
Yeah, totally.
You're in for life.
That's
you're a lifer at that point.
That's the moment you got him. That's the moment you got your nasty little tendrils in him.
Your illithid tendrils.
That's it.
Your Alhoon tendrils.
What do you think? What a great story.
Very great.
What a really good story.
Very good. Love that. I love it.
Put it in.
Especially when you done out.
Yeah, I know. And
you only did 4 points of damage, but it was the 4
points of damage. Yeah,
really
what a great story. What a good story. That lit fire into my belly.
Right, I need a wee.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to leave you now.
Something.
I'm going to have to eat something too.
Did you like them? Did you like
Did you enjoy yourselves? I'm glad that you were here.
Yeah.
Is next week Christmas?
No, is it?
No, it's the week after.
Is it?
Next week Sunday is Christmas.
Yes. The you're probably gonna mention this anyway. What
are you talking about? What are you saying? I'm doing that stupid face where I'm waiting for you to say something.
Hold on. When does this go out? The 14th of December? Is that correct?
Yes.
So the international post date has gone for anything from our Hellbound store.
Anything international.
All
anything
UK orders, you have until this coming Monday,
18th.
the 18th, to get your orders in, and then that's it.
Yeah. www.eldritchpodblast.co.uk. Go pick yourself up some LDB merchandise, some heavy metal t-shirts, some logo t-shirts. Thank you for anyone who's picked one up. Head to our Hellbound store. You can still order for after Christmas if you want something internationally.
Yeah, you can still totally order.
For people in the UK, you've got till the 18th to order. Code Podblast will get you 10% on anything off there. Like the video. Subscribe if you haven't. The bell will be notifying you when we upload a video on a Monday and a Thursday. Comment down below for the algorithm and tell me your favourite MCR song. If you haven't got a favourite MCR song, just tell me your favourite band.
Yeah, I'd like to know. I want to know. Do you like Emo Night?
Do you like Emo Night?
Do you like Emo Night?
I love you.
I love you.
Bully loves you.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to see you on Monday. Bye.